Frank comes back to the apartment and sees Johnny there, and they are like about to have sex. And so Frank is like, I don't know how much I'm going to be able to do, but like we can try.
Yeah.
And so they go into the bedroom, and then we kind of see the afterwards where they're like,
we don't see the dramatic sex scene that we saw at the beginning.
And then the next scene, Frank is going to a surgeon's office, and the surgeon's like, so wait, how did you get sex change operation? And Frank's like, I lied to some people. Like, Frank doesn't want to say it was performed against my will.
This could have been like 2 seconds long. Literally, like, you know, in a way to like make this translate a little bit better. It's like, you see Frank's reaction, and then we cut to him in the room with the surgeon. But instead, it's like we see him walking up to the front desk, explaining that he's like wants to talk to a surgeon specifically. It's like, we don't need any of this. We just need him to understand essentially that the surgery is irreversible. That's what the surgeon tells
That's
him.
what the exposition of the scene should be. But instead, Frank is only asking the surgeon sex-related questions, including looking down at his new genitalia and saying,
can I get off with whatever this is?
So Frank goes to Honest John's headquarters, kills all the henchmen, ends up kidnapping Honest John, taking him down to the basement, and interrogating him.
Yeah.
Break down this scene a little bit. You got
I mean, he's just tied up trying to get this information out of him of like where the surgeon is. He wants to know the identity of the surgeon. And he doesn't really give Frank Kitchen any of that information, but he sort of alludes to the fact that Johnny is involved in some way. And Frank's like, what the hell? And one of my favorite quotes, one of my many favorite quotes in the movie is, because, you know, again, they try to make this like a dumb action movie, but they have Honest John saying, nurses, they work for doctors, or something like that. Nurses work for doctors. And then Frank pauses for a really long time, walks like to right in front of him and goes,
can I get off?
Yeah, you're right. They do. And then shoots him. It's like, that is not maybe they cut something out there. No, it's like, that doesn't feel like the response to that.
The dialogue is consistently that bad.
Yeah.
At this point, Frank realizes Johnny might be in on the thing. Johnny might have set me up. And so Frank goes back to the apartment, pours a drink, and is waiting for Johnny to come home. Johnny comes home, and Frank's like, sit down. We got to talk. And so Johnny comes over, sits down, and Frank's like, I know you transed me. Like, I know you set me up, Toots.
Yeah.
And Johnny's like, I had to, otherwise they were going to break my arms and legs. Like, I had no choice. He's like, listen, Toots, I'm putting you on a bus to Reno. You got to hide out for a couple of weeks while I kill the surgeon that harmed me. And so just ships off Johnny with no, I guess because Frank loves Johnny.
I think that's the last we see of Johnny. I thought maybe she would like play into it in some way the rest of the movie. Nope, she's gone. She's gone.
So Frank finds out from Johnny that one of the surgical assistants that works for Dr. Jane is really into hookers. And so Frank decides he's going to dress like a hooker and show up at Dr. Jane's front door to infiltrate the base.
Yep. So I guess Frank had Johnny call them as in like, I'm sending a hooker over or something like that. And they're like, you think we'd believe that shit from Johnny, that dumb broad, you know? I think everybody has like a Brooklyn accent, even though this takes place in Oakland. But anyway, maybe I'm just remembering it back like that. I don't know. But so they immediately tie Frank Kitchen up and put him in a straitjacket.
Yeah, and so Frank's now in like a lonely white cell, and Dr. Jane comes in and is like, oh, Frank, your surgery went swimmingly. Like, you look so good. And Dr. Jane is being all like evil villainy and is like, Frank, you look like a girl next door. You look like a homely little girl. And Frank's like, grrr.
Am I crazy, or did they like do something with Sigourney Weaver's character? Because it feels like she's wearing like these pantsuits and like ties and stuff.
Like she's dressed very androgynous.
Yeah, she's dressed like sort of masculine, like has like short hair. Like, were they trying to do something there, or is that just a completely like a detail that they didn't even think about?
I think it's trying to maybe communicate that Dr. Jane has like progressive views on gender, because she pontificates a lot about how she feels like her black market sex change operations are serving an underserved population. She's doing a good for the world. And in this scene with Frank, she explains that her motivation for sex changing Frank against his will was she wanted to have an experiment, and she wanted to prove that even if you change someone's biology and if you change their genitalia and their physical appearance, you can't change their gender identity because it's an essence of who we are as a person.
Yeah.
And I think this might be the point at which the movie is like, hey,
I'm telling you,
we're not transphobic.
Exactly. They preemptively try to beat those allegations, but it's like that experiment, like that study has been done. That exists. Like you don't have to do it on your black market thing, like to prove it.
This science is there.
Yeah, yeah.
And instead Sigourney Weaver's like, nah, we're chopping off dicks.
Yeah.
We're doing it.
Come on.
Come on.